This demo is on how to use a bitmap, logo, and signature on your receipts in the program. They can also be used in mail merge letters. The previous demo covered how to do some minor editing on files that you're going to use in the program to get them to the right sizes. This demo covers how to specify the files for use in the program and demonstrates some issues in using them. I'm first going to show you what it looks like when the logo and signature are not set up. So let's create a sample receipt. Up here is where the logo would go, and down here is where the signature would go if they had been specified. Using a signature means you don't have to sign them by hand, and if you've got a lot of receipts, that can be quite helpful. It's also absolutely required, at least in Canada, if you're going to email the receipts. One thing I want to mention is if you do want to use a signature bitmap, you probably want to go here to Maintenance, then Change Password, then Receipt Password, and set up a password. The current password is empty, so I leave it that way, and I type in something here for the new password and retyping it, and click OK. That gives you a little protection, given that these receipts are in effect pre-signed because you've got a bitmap signature. It will prompt for the password anytime you try to create a real receipt. It doesn't prompt for it when you just do sample receipts because they aren't real receipts that you could give to a donor. So let me show you where you're going to specify those two files for the logo and signature. We go to Maintenance, Receipt Options, then click this button here. You'll see nothing is specified at the moment. So let's start by clicking the Browse button for the signature. We're going to navigate to where it's stored. It's this one. And you can see that it's visible here. Now it looks pretty washed out, but we'll see later that it's actually okay. So let's try looking at a receipt with that. I'm going to save that, change back to regular non-mail merge receipts initially. Receipt, current donor sample, and now the receipt, the signature is there. Now it still looks rather washed out, but actually it's going to be okay when you print it. And to demonstrate that, I'm going to save it as a PDF, which is essentially the same as printing it. You'll get the same sort of output as if you printed it. And you can see it actually looks pretty fine in the PDF, so that's good. So let's go back, Receipt Options, select Logo and Signature buttons, and this time we're going to browse for the logo file that we've edited. This is just where I happen to have put it. This was the one that was the right size, 150 by 60. So that actually looks pretty good. Click OK on that. Save this. Receipt, current donor sample, and there's our logo up in the top right corner where it goes. And I'll just show that with the mail merge version of the receipt as well, just to show that that looks okay as well. Okay, receipt, current donor sample, and there's our logo, there's our signature. And actually in the mail merge you can see that the signature looks pretty good right away. But again, it'll print fine in either case. Now I'm just going to show you what happens if you pick one that isn't scaled properly, either in the right height versus width dimensions or in the right overall size. So if we browse in the same folder and pick that original enormous version that we started out editing in the previous demo, you'll see first of all you get a message explaining that it's not the right size, and you get to choose whether or not to really use that image. I'm going to say yes. Now the first thing you'll notice is it looks a bit squished, and it is squished because it wasn't the right ratio of height to width. So we'll say OK to that. I'm going to start with the non-mail merge receipts. Current donor sample, and again it's squished, the blue border didn't come out correctly, so that's not too great. But it's way worse with the mail merge receipts. And that's because with the mail merge receipts, it uses the logo at whatever size you've specified. So it's going to use it at the full 3000 by whatever it was size, and you can see it's taking up like the whole page, and scrolling past the edge of the page. I'll just scroll down a bit to where there's some text, and it's like it's way out here past the what should be the edge of the page. It doesn't make any sense. So it's using the actual size when you use the mail merge receipts, which is not what you want. That's really all I've got to show you about using logos and signatures. Thank you for listening.